Konnichiwa, minasan. O genki desu ka? Welcome to my channel. Let's learn Japanese with Eric. If you would like to learn Japanese for work, travel, or simply personal interest, please subscribe to my channel and watch the videos in chronological order. All lessons are written in both English and Japanese, so if you read Japanese, you can follow along reading the hiragana alphabet. If you haven't learned the hiragana yet, you can learn them all in one afternoon by going through lessons 1, 2, and 3. Otherwise, you're perfectly fine following along using the English transliteration. So let's begin. Hajimemashou. In this lesson, you will learn about the use of counters or josushi. Japanese uses a system of counters to indicate quantity, depending on the shape or category of the item. These counters mainly use the Chinese-derived system of counting. In association with counters, you'll also learn how to make requests, such as, please give me 2 cups of coffee, or please give me 5 apples. You'll also learn how to say there is or there are type of sentences, such as there are 3 books or there are 5 children. And together with all these, you'll learn new vocabulary. Are you ready? Counters or josushi are used to indicate quantity when using the Chinese way of counting. To use the counter, you say the number plus the counter. For example, sannin means 3 people. Here, we will learn 10 very frequently used counters. The counter for people is nin. The counter for long cylindrical objects, like pencils, bottles, tubes, and trees, is hon. The counter for sheets, such as paper, shirts, even lunch boxes, is mai. Counters for things that are bound, such as books and notebooks, is satsu. Counter for cups, mugs, and glasses is hai. Counter for machines, such as cars, TVs, computers, is dai. The counter for small animals, like cats and dogs, is hiki. Counter for floors of a building is kai. Counters for pairs of footwear, such as shoes and socks, is soku. And the counter for pieces, when the shape is indeterminate, such as fruit and candy, is ko. Because there are inflections in the pronunciation with many of these counters, depending on the number, we will look at each one closely in the next few slides. The counter for people is nin. Nin. However, the terms for 1 person, 2 persons, and 4 persons derive from the Japanese way of counting. 1 person is hitori, hitori. The term for 2 persons is futari, futari. 3 persons is sannin, sannin. 4 persons, yonin, yonin. Aside from hitori, futari, and yonin, the rest of the numbers pair with nin without any inflection in pronunciation. 5 persons, gonin, gonin. 6 persons, rokunin, rokunin. 7 persons, shinin, shinin, or nananin, nananin. 8 persons, hachinin, hachinin. 9 persons, kyunin, kyunin. And 10 persons, junin, junin. Now to ask how many people, you say nan-nin, nan-nin. Nan means what, and paired with the counter nin, it means how many people. Now to ask how many, it's useful to pay attention to how the counter is pronounced for the number 3, because you often have inflections. If the number 3 has an inflection, that's what you pair with nan to ask for how many. The counter for long cylindrical objects is hon, hon. Some objects that take this counter include pens and pencils, beverage bottles, tubes of toothpaste or lotion, baseball bats, and trees. For this counter, you have inflections for the numbers 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10, and its multiples. One cylindrical object is ippon, ippon. 2 is nihon, nihon. 3 is sanbon, sanbon. Note the inflection from hon to bon. 4 is yonghon, yonghon. 5 is gohon, gohon. 6 is roppon, roppon. 7 is nanahon, nanahon. 8 is happon, happon. 9 is kyuhon, kyuhon. And 10 is juppon, juppon. Now inflections for 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10 carry as you go into higher numbers. So for example, 13 pence is jusanbon, and 20 pence is nijuppon, nijuppon. To ask how many cylindrical objects, you say nanbon, nanbon. And that bon inflection is the same inflection as for the number 3. The counter for flat objects and sheets is mai, mai. You use mai when you count sheets of paper, clipboards, towels, shirts, pizzas, and even blackboards. Mai has no inflections. 1 sheet is ichimai, 2 nimai, nimai, 3 sanmai, sanmai, 4 yongmai, yongmai, 5 gomai, gomai, 6 rokumai, rokumai, 7 nanamai, nanamai, 8 hachimai, hachimai, 9 kyumai, kyumai, and 10 is jumai, jumai. To ask how many sheets, you say nanmai, nanmai. The counter for bound objects is satsu, satsu. This includes items such as books, notebooks, and binders. Inflections are found in numbers 1, 8, and 10. 1 book is issatsu, issatsu. 2 books, nisatsu, nisatsu. 3 books, sansatsu, sansatsu. 4 yonsatsu, yonsatsu. 5 gosatsu, gosatsu. 6 rokusatsu, rokusatsu. 7 nanasatsu, nanasatsu. 8 hassatsu, hassatsu. 9 kyusatsu, kyusatsu. And 10 is jussatsu, jussatsu. To ask how many bound objects, you say nansatsu, nansatsu. The counter for cups, glasses, and mugs is hai, hai. And just like hon, the counter for cylindrical objects, they both start with the letter H, and there is inflection for numbers 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10. Say we're counting cups of coffee. 1 cup is ippai, ippai. 2 cups, nihai, nihai. 3 cups, sanbai, sanbai. Inflection here. 4 cups, yonghai, yonghai. 5 cups, gohai, gohai. 6 cups, roppai, roppai. 7 cups, nanahai, nanahai. 8 cups, happai, happai. 9 cups, kyuhai, kyuhai. And 10 cups, juppai, juppai. To ask how many cups, you say nanbai, nanbai. In a sense, that'll be nanbai desu ka, nanbai desu ka. And that bai is the same inflection as in number 3. Next counter is the counter for machines, which is dai, dai. This includes cars, household electronics, printers, cameras, TVs. Good news is there are no inflections for this counter. 1 machine is ichidai, ichidai. 2 nidai, nidai. 3 sandai, sandai. 4 yongdai, yongdai. 5 godai, godai. 6 rokudai, 6台 7 7台 7台 8 8台 8台 9 9台 9台 and 10 10台 10台. To ask how many machines, you ask 何台ですか? 何台 何台. The counter for small animals is Hiki, Hiki. You use this to count pets like cats, dogs, pet fish, rabbits, birds, insects. Hiki starts with the letter H, so just like the counters for cylindrical objects hon and cups hai, there is inflection for numbers 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10. Say we're counting cats, so one cat is ippiki, ippiki. Two cats, nihiki, nihiki. Three cats, sanbiki, sanbiki. Note the inflection from hiki to biki. Four cats, yonhiki, yonhiki. Five cats, gohiki, gohiki. Six, roppiki, roppiki. Seven is nanahiki, nanahiki. Eight is happiki, happiki. 9 is kyuhiki, kyuhiki. 10 cats, juppiki, juppiki. To ask how many animals, you say nanbiki, nanbiki. Nanbiki desu ka? Nanbiki desu ka? And biki is the same inflection as that you have in number 3. The counter for floors of a building is kai, kai. You have inflections for the usual numbers 1, 3, 6, 8, and 10. The first floor is ikkai, ikkai. Second floor, nikai, nikai. Third floor, sangai, sangai. The kai turns to gai, K to G. Fourth floor, yonkai, yonkai. Fifth floor, gokai, gokai. Sixth floor, rokkai, rokkai. Seventh floor, nanakai, nanakai. Eighth floor, hakkai, hakkai. Ninth floor, kyukai, kyukai. And 10th floor, jukkai, jukkai. And to ask what floor, you ask nangai, nangai. Nangai desu ka? Nangai desu ka? What floor would you like? So gai has the same inflection as that in number 3. The counter for footwear such as socks, shoes, slippers is soku, soku. And for soku you have inflections for numbers 1, 3, 8, and 10. Say pairs of socks. One pair is issoku, issoku. Two pairs, nisoku, nisoku. Three pairs, sanzoku, sanzoku. So note the inflection from soku to zoku. Four pairs, yonsoku, yonsoku. Five pairs, gosoku, gosoku. Six pairs, roksoku, roksoku. Seven pairs, nanasoku, nanasoku. Eight pairs, hassoku, hassoku. 9 pairs, kyusoku, kyusoku. And 10 pairs, jussoku, jussoku. To ask how many pairs, that's nanzoku, nanzoku. Nanzoku desu ka? Nanzoku desu ka? How many pairs are there? And again, same inflection as that you have for the number 3. For small, indeterminately shaped objects, the counter is ko, ko. You can use ko for counting objects like pieces of fruit, candy, cake, sushi, and so on. Inflections are for the numbers 1, 6, 8, and 10. No inflection for number 3 here. One piece is ikko, ikko. Two pieces, niko, niko. Three pieces, sanko, sanko. No inflection. 4, yonko, yonko. 5, goko, goko. 6, rokko, rokko. 7, nanako, nanako. 8, hakko, hakko. 9, kyuko, kyuko. And 10 is jukko, jukko. To ask how many pieces, you say nanko, nanko, nanko desu ka? I'd like to dedicate one slide to the counter for age or years old, which is sai, sai. Because we have inflections for the numbers 1, 8, and 10, and a special term for 20 years old. 1 year old is issai, issai. 2 years old, nisai, nisai. 3 years old, sansai, sansai. 4 is yonsai, yonsai. 5 is gosai, gosai. 6, rokusai, rokusai. 7, nanasai, nanasai. 8, hassai, hassai. 9, kyusai, kyusai. And 10 years old is jussai, jussai. The term for 20 years old is special. It's hatachi, hatachi. And to ask how old, you say nansai, nansai. Nansai desu ka? How old are you? I'm 20 years old. Hatachi desu, hatachi desu. Now, how do we use these counters? In a nutshell, these counters are put just right before the verb. And remember, Japanese sentences always end with a verb. Knowing how to say the quantity is very useful when you make a request. Say at a restaurant, please give me a glass of water. Or when you're buying something, please give me 3 bottles of wine. To say, please give me, the pattern is you say the thing first, followed by the particle wo, then the quantity, then the verb kudasai. For example, to say, please give me 2 pencils, you say, enpitsu wo 2 hon kudasai. Enpitsu wo 2 hon kudasai. Enpitsu means pencil. The particle wo indicates direct object or answers the question what of the verb. The verb is kudasai, which means please give me, please give to me. Give me what? Pencil, enpitsu, enpitsu wo. And since it's a cylindrical object, the counter is hon. So 2 pencils is 2 hon. Then the verb kudasai. That's how it works. Very useful. Thing wo, quantity kudasai. Let's practice the counter for cylindrical objects hon. Feel free to repeat after me. For example, you want to say, please give me 1 umbrella. The word for umbrella is kasa, kasa. How would you say this in Japanese? That's right. Kasa wo 1pon kudasai. Kasa wo 1pon kudasai. Say you want 3 beers. Beer in Japanese is biru, biru. It's from English. So how would you say 3 beers, please? Biru wo 3本 kudasai. Biru wo 3本 kudasai. What if you want 5 pencils? So pencil is enpitsu. That's right. You'd say enpitsu wo 5本 kudasai. Enpitsu wo 5本 kudasai. Let's practice ordering coffee. How would you say to the waitress, 1 cup of coffee, please? Now, coffee is kohi in Japanese, kohi. And in case you forgot, the counter for cups and glasses is hai, hai. That's right. You'd say, コーヒーを一杯ください. コーヒーを一杯ください. How would you ask for 2 glasses of water? Now, water in Japanese is mizu, mizu. And the answer is, 水を2杯ください. 水を2杯ください. Now, what if you like 4 cups of tea? Give me 4 cups of tea, please. Now, tea in Japanese is ocha, ocha. You'd say, お茶を4杯ください. お茶を4杯ください. Next, let's practice the counter for sheets and flat objects, which is mai, mai. How do you ask for 3 sheets of paper? Paper is kami, kami. Kamiを3枚ください. Kamiを3枚ください. How do you ask for 5 towels? Towels in Japanese is taoru. Taoru. It's just the Japanese pronunciation of the English towel. Taoru. That's right. You'd say taoru wo 5枚ください. Taoru wo 5枚ください. Now say you're at Uniqlo and you'd like to buy 7 t-shirts. Now t-shirt in Japanese is t-shatsu. T-shatsu. How would you ask for that? T-shatsu wo 7枚ください. T-shatsu wo 7枚ください. Let's practice the counter for small pieces, which is ko. How do you ask for 1 apple? Apple in Japanese is ringo. Ringo. Ringo wo 1個ください. Ringo wo 1個ください. 4 avocados, please. Now, avocado is avocado. Avocado. Avocado wo 4個ください. Avocado wo 4個ください. Now, how do you ask for 5 candies? Candy is candy. Candy. Candy wo 5個ください. Candy wo 5個ください. Now, let me point out that in all of these, you can also use the Japanese way of counting. So for the apple, you can also say リンゴを1つください. リンゴを1つください. For the 4 avocados, you can say アボカドを4つください. アボカドを4つください. And to ask for the 5 candies, you can also say キャンディを5つください. キャンディを5つください. Now don't forget that you have the option to use the Japanese way of counting. To say there is or there are, we use the verb arimasu when talking about objects and plants. The pattern becomes name of the thing, then topic particle wa, then quantity, then the verb arimasu. Arimasu literally means there exists. How do you say there are 2 pairs of socks? Socks is kutsushita. Kutsushita wa 2足あります. Kutsushita wa 2足あります. There are 3 cars. 車は3台あります. 車は3台あります. There are 6 books. 本は6冊あります. 本は6冊あります. To express the existence of people and animals, we use the verb imasu. Imasu. Same pattern applies. Person or animal wa, then the number, and then the verb imasu. How do you say there's 1 infant? 赤ちゃんは1人います. 赤ちゃんは1人います. How do you say there are 2 teachers? 先生は2人います. 先生は2人います. How do you say there are 4 children? 子供は4人います. 子供は4人います. How do you say there is 1 cat? 猫は1匹います. 猫は1匹います. How do you say there are 2 dogs? 犬は2匹います. 犬は2匹います. How do you say there are 6 fish? 魚は6匹います. 魚は6匹います. Other common counters you would encounter every now and then are to, which is the counter for big animals. To means head, so you're literally counting heads here, as in heads of cattle. Do is the counter for degrees, such as for telling temperature. 30 degrees Celsius is 30 do. 30 do. The counter for frequency is kai, as in I brush my teeth twice a day. 毎日2回 meaning twice. And the counter for ordinal numbers is ban. So number 1 is ichibang, number 2 nibang, number 3 sanbang, and so on. And to say first, second, third, and so on, that would be ichiban me, the first, niban me, second, sanban me, third, yongbang me, fourth, and so on. Other frequently used counters are time counters, which you'll learn more closely in the video on specific time expressions. But here they are. Counter for seconds is byo. Counter for minutes is fun. Counter for the hour of day is ji. So 1 o'clock is ichiji. To express time period, just add kan. So you get funkan to mean period in minutes. 15 minutes long is jugo funkan. Time period in hours is jikan. Jikan also means time in general. So for example, a class that's an hour long, you say ichijikan. Shukan is time in period, in weeks. 3 weeks is sanshukan. The counter for days is nichi. So the 21st day of the month is niju ichinichi. Nichikan is the time period in days. So 21 days is niju ichinichikan. The counter for month of the year is gatsu. So the month of June is rokugatsu. Time period in months is expressed as kagetsukan. Nen is the counter for year. So the year 2019 is nisen-19 nen. And nenkan is the time period in years. So 1 whole year is ichinenkan. To recap, you learned the most frequently used common counters that express quantity. These counters are mostly used with the Chinese-derived system of counting. The counter for people is nin. For small animals, hiki. For long cylindrical objects, hon. For sheets and flat objects, mai. For bound objects, satsu. For cups and glasses, hai. For machines and electronics, dai. For floors of a building, kai. For pairs of footwear, soku. And for small, indeterminately shaped items, ko. You also learned how to make requests. Please give me. Nani wo quantity kudasai. You also learned to express the existence and quantity of people, animals, and items. There is or are. Nani wa quantity, and then imas for people and animals, and nani wa quantity arimas for things and plants. And that ends our lesson on counters. I hope you had fun and see you in the next lesson. If you're serious about becoming fluent in Japanese, it's important to practice daily, learn grammar, and build up vocabulary. My whole course is designed to give you a strong basic foundation in the Japanese language that you can build solidly on. So please click like, share, or subscribe, and watch the next video in the series. Nihongo no benkyou ni ganbatte kudasai. じゃあ、またね。